Okay. Hey, welcome back. All right. So today we're going to be doing some sewing projects that you can do to give as gifts this holiday season. For this first one, it's going to be a set. So let's jump right in. I'm using a regular towel. You can get your towel from anywhere, Walmart, Target, wherever you shop. And then I'm just going to measure out a piece of elastic that's going to be nice and snug enough to hug around the top part of the chest. Once you get that elastic the size you need, then you're going to fold down the towel the long way and you can pin it. You're going to fold it down long enough so that you can fit the elastic through it with no problems. And then you're going to sew straight along there, and then you're going to feed the elastic through. Once you feed the elastic through one into the other, then you're going to pin it so that it won't pull through when you're going through. But once you feed it in, you're going to sew it down so that the elastic stays in place on both sides. You're going to sew down each side, securing the elastic. And then you're going to try it on again, make sure it fits nice and snug. And then you're going to take whatever thing you're going to use to secure it. I'm using Velcro strips. I'm just going to attach one end and then the other end and just sew those down. And then you'll have a nice little wraparound towel. And it's a great gift because you can also customize it if you wanted to and put some little embroidery or something like that. But I just left it plain because I'm doing this as a set. Now on to the next part of this gift set that you're going to be giving this year. This is going to be a head wrap. So for when you come out the shower and you've washed your hair, I'm going to do mine about 23 inches long. So you can see I folded over the towel. This is the second towel. I folded over the towel. I'm measuring 23 inches long. And then you can mark that. So you're going to mark from one end to the other end. I'm not using a pattern. I'm just freestyling it for this. Then you're going to go about 6.5 inches from the edge. So you can see I've pinned off from the 23, and then I'm marking up 6.5 inches from the edge. And then at that point, I'm going to measure up 10 inches. So from the end of it, 6.5 inches, and then up 10 inches. And then that'll be your point so you know where to cut at. So I'm going to cut along the bottom there to get a straight cut, and that's the 23-inch line that I'm doing there. And then let me make this make sense. Hold on. Okay. So then you're going to start at the edge, and then you're going to go up to the point that you have marked, that 10 inches up, kind of creating a curve. So you can see the curve starting there, and then from that curve you're going to swoop it down to the other end. So like I said, you could make a pattern for this, but I'm just doing it by the points that I've made and just cutting along those. So then when you're done with that, you'll have two pieces. So you can see it has its little shape that's coming along there, and then you'll have the two pieces, and then you'll go on to the next step, which is going to be attaching those two pieces together. So I have my two pieces, and then I'm just going to sew along from not the bottom edge, but the top edge right there, and all the way around to the other side. I used a serger. You don't have to, because you're going to have to change your settings because it is really thick. And then I took a piece of elastic, and this is going to go into the piece that you left open there. It's going to be in the inside because all this is the inside right now. Sew that down, and then once you turn it the right way out, your elastic piece will be on the outside, and then you just attach a button or something to the front, and then you have your little head wrap, and it goes with the other set that you have made there. You can also finish off the edges so that you don't have the extra frame. Okay, now on to the last part of this set. All right, so when you're washing your face, doing things like that, sometimes you want something to pull back your hair. So this is going to be for that. I measured mine about 32 inches long, and again, you can see I have it folded, the towel folded in half, and this is just the other part of the towel. So to do all three of these pieces, it'll take about 2 towels. All right, so you can see I have that there, and then I'm just going to cut it. And then I'm going to go on to making a bow for it. You don't have to make the bow for it if you don't want, but I'm going to make a bow for it. But once you have that, you're just going to sew that straight across, leaving the opening so you can turn it the right way out, just like you would with any type loop or thing. But I'm going to make the bow, like I said. So for the bow, I measured out that, and then I'm just going to kind of cut a bowish like shape. So I'm folded it in half so I know where the center is, and then I'm just cutting off the edges. Like I said, I'm freestyling this. You can like use a pattern if you want, but it doesn't have to be that precise because it's just part of a tie. And because it is so thick, you're going to want to cut along the middle where you'll be tying it so that it's not as bulky, because it'll be really hard to tie if you don't cut those pieces out in the middle there. So I'm going to cut those out, top and bottom. And then again, I'm going to sew these pieces together, leaving an opening so I can turn it the right way out. So once you have sewn along your long piece, that's going to be your headband piece, then you can turn that the right way out and then insert a piece of elastic that goes around the sides of the head so that you can have it nice and snug on the head. And for this, you're going to just want to sew it down to one part, not sew the whole thing closed on the end, because you're going to want to tuck it in at the end. So you're going to sew the elastic to each end just on one side and then tuck it in and sew that closed. Then for the head bow, again, like I said, you leave an opening so you can turn it the right way out. Once you turn it the right way out, you're going to then attach it to the headband once you close it up. And you can see how I just attached the elastic to one side, not both sides, so that I can insert that piece there and close it up. And you can see, you can leave it, like I said, without the bow, but the bow makes it, kind of cute. And then once you've closed up your bow, after you turned it the right way out, you just pull it and tie it. You don't have to secure it any extra way. That's good enough for it. And then now you'll have a cute 3-piece set. So you can go from showering, washing your hair, washing your face, doing whatever. And I think this will make a cute gift set. And like I said, you can customize it, do something cute. If you have a Cricut, if you have an embroidery machine, if you know how to hand embroider, you can add cute little details to it. Okay, so now on to this next one. All right, different dogs are going to be different measurements. I tried to measure my dog. She did not, when she was younger, she didn't like the camera as much. But you're going to want to measure around, because you want this to be, so if it's a bigger dog, you're going to do bigger. But you want it to be long enough to tie around the neck comfortably, not too big, not too small. So even if you just gauged around your own neck, I don't know, based on the dog size, I don't know. But you're going to fold it over just like you would a bandana. So this part, the longest part of the triangle there, that's the part that you're going to want to make sure is the right measurement to go around the neck of the dog. And then, of course, how long you want it to be, you're going to measure down that way. So I'm doing 2 pieces together. So I'm just folding over the triangle and then sewing the edges down, leaving it open so that I can turn it the right way out. You can then just close up that opening once you turn it the right way out and leave it as that if you have like a cute little print or something like that. But because this print was so simple, I wanted to customize it for her, and that's going to be a good gift for your pet, for a pet lover, for, a pet mom or pet dad. This would be a cute gift to give to them because it's something personalized for their little pet. And you can see, you just want to make sure you're able to tie it closed so that you can secure it and without choking the little one, of course. And then, so for her, like I said, because the pattern was so simple, after I closed up the opening there that I left to turn it the right way out, I just drew on her name with the Cricut, and then this is how it looks, kind of blurry, but it says Dolly. And the little doll, displayed it for me because she would not come back. But it says Dolly, then it has a few little paws on it and stuff. So this is a cute gift to give for that pet lover, pet mom, pet dad. All right, now on to the next one. Okay, so for this one, it's going to be just napkins. If you know somebody who loves to do a good place setting or something like that, a napkin is a good gift, and they're real simple. You just going to measure out the napkin for the size that you want it to be, and then just fold over the edges. I folded them over double so that it's nice and clean. You can use a serger, you can do whatever you want. And then, because like I said, this fabric is so plain, I just added a decorative little detail with the sewing machine. So you could pick a decorative stitch and just do some little details on it. If, like I said, if you have an embroidery machine, you can embroider. You can use your Cricut. You can do whatever you want just to customize them and make them personal to the person that you're giving them to. But I did these real simple just with the stitch. So once you're done adding your decorative stitch, like I said, you're gonna I just pulled it through and tied the knot at the end because I didn't go from one end to the other end. So I just pulled one piece of the thread that was on top and just pulled it through, tied the knot. And then I added a few more of these, and then I went around and did the edge, and that was it. Okay, now on to this one. This one is a scrunchie, super simple, super quick. They can be a little longer, they can be shorter. The full video is just a 60-second video I have up on the page, but you're just going to take the hair piece, you're going to secure it like I did there, and then just keep adjusting it and sewing it straight down. Like I said, the full video is up with a little more detail to it, but once you do that, this is super quick, and for those scrunchie lovers, you can just bang out a bunch of these. Once you have it all sewed, you turn it the right way out, and then just tuck one side into the other side, sew that down, and then you can have as many scrunchies as you want for someone. These are good stocking stuffers too. Okay, now on to this one. This one is a simple apron, and you can make these out of dish towels. So these are from IKEA. They're thinner than maybe a regular dish towel would be, but they came in a pack. So I just picked 3 of them that I like together, and I'm going to just attach them. So it's going to be real wide, but it's okay because you're going to scrunch it together at the top when you're done. So the long way, you're just going to sew them right face to right face on each side. So there's 3 of them. So one side attaches to the other, and the other side attaches to the other, both the long way. If you want, you can then, after you attach them this way, you can come back and press out that seam and then top stitch on each side so that it's nice and flat all through, or you can just attach them this way. You can do it whatever way you want. But this is cute because if you get a pack of the dish towels like I got, they come in cute little prints, and so it's cute to put them all together. Once I did that, you can make this into a full apron too if you want it, by just attaching a top piece to it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make it a half apron. So I'm just picking out a ribbon that I want to go along as the top part of it to tie it closed. I ended up going with the black one at the end. So once you figure out what you want to do for the ribbon, and then you want to make sure you measure out the ribbon enough to tie around the waist, find the center of the apron, and then you're just going to pleat it. You can gather it with the gathering stitch. You can do whatever you want. And you just want to make sure it's enough to cover the front of the body. So don't over gather it, don't under gather it. You don't need it to wrap all the way around the body. You just want it to, because it's an apron, you just want it to come around the front of the body, pleat it to the size that you want. And if you wanted to, like I said, add the top piece, you could add a top piece at that point before you go on and add the ribbon, but I just left it as a half apron. Once you do that, then you're going to find the center of the ribbon once you cut the ribbon to the size that you want it, and then you're just going to attach it to the bottom of the apron. You can attach it like I did, flip it back up, and then top stitch it. You can attach it just top stitching it to begin with. It doing 2 good rows would be good if you did it the other way, but this way you're going to do it like that, and then you can top stitch it down and finish it off. But this is a real simple and real quick way to make again a customized gift. And if you wanted to, like I said, you can go in with that Cricut, you can go in with that embroidery machine, you can do whatever you want and make it custom to that person. And of course, once you finish off that, you're going to want to finish off the end of the tie. So I just folded it down twice again to make sure it was nice and clean on the edge. Okay, now on to this one. This one is going to be, these are from, again, the dish towels or napkins, whatever that I got from IKEA. I'm going to, this one is pieces, and then there's a full one. For the full one, I'm just going to fold it in half. You can make the bag whatever size you want to make the bag. I made these bags to fit my daughter's shoes in for sports and stuff like that, because she throws them all in a bag. But you can do it however you want. It's going to be real simple. You're just going to attach the pieces together, sew down the sides, leaving an opening at the top, because you're going to want to be able to fold that down to loop the ribbon through at the end. So you're going to leave the opening at the top, the space at the top, big enough to be able to fold it down and fit whatever piece of ribbon or string or whatever you're using through that piece. So it's going to be based on whatever size you have, based on how big you leave your opening at the top. But if you cut it into two pieces like the other one is, you're going to want to fold the bottom and the sides. If you're folding it over, it's just the sides. But of course, you're going to make it look like a bag. It doesn't have to be the shape that I have mine. Like I said, this was for shoes. So if you're doing it not for shoes, for something different, it's just a basic drawstring bag. You can do it whatever size you want, custom. You can make them smaller too if you want. Whatever size for whatever you're doing. So like I said, for this one, I was doing it for shoes. So that's why I did it the way that I did it. But it's real simple, real easy. And again, you can have a bunch of these. These even be cute if you wanted to use it as part of your gift wrapping. So if you wanted to make these bags to put your gifts in, so it's like a gift and a gift, you know what I'm saying? So once you figure out how big you want your bag, like I said, you just do that, leave the opening at the top, and then you're going to sew along the long way. So you're going to want to make sure the sides are open, if I'm making sense. There's a full video on this one too, but you want to make sure that the sides are open. So you're going to fold it down, and then you can do the little finish off there to make sure it's nice and neat. You're going to fold it down and then sew along the long way so that the ribbon or string can fit through. If that's making sense. If you have a question, I'll be happy to answer them. But it's real simple and real quick. You can see I'm just folding down, making sure it's nice, and then you'll have the two openings. You can pull the string through and close off your drawstring bag. Once you have sewn it all and pressed it out and did whatever you're going to do, then you're just going to real simply take your ribbon or your string or your whatever you're using to put through it and just loop it through. You can loop it straight through. You can have the sides coming out of both ways. There's different ways you can do it. Like I said, you can have it where you tie it together on each end, or you can loop it through like I'm about to do here, where it's coming through both sides. It's different ways you can do it and close it up. It's all based on how you want it to look at the end, but it's custom to what you want to do. I like the two-tone one. That was the one she used the most for her shoes, but you can do it any way you want, and I think they're super cute. And like I said, they could be part of the gift that you package the gift in. But that's a great gift idea for this holiday season also. Okay, so now on to this one. Another quick and simple one. It's just going to be a little clutch, like purse type thing. You can use it as a makeup bag. You can do whatever. I did mine with scraps. So the size of it is based on how much scraps I had. If you want to do it bigger, I wouldn't go too much smaller on it. But like I said, I just did mine with scraps. So the size wasn't really determined by what I was doing. It was just, I really measured it out based on the zipper. So the scraps were big enough for the zipper. And so it wasn't really, you could just use your scraps and make cute little gifts. Like if you have to make a person, it's good for travel, different things like that and stuff, because you know you don't want your pieces flopping around in your bag. So I had cut 2 pieces, and then I did the lining the same, which was scraps also. I cut that piece to fit the lining for the bag. So I measured it out based on the pieces that I had from the top pieces. And then you can see I'm just going to take the 2 main pieces for the outside, face those right side to right side, and then sew it together. Then you should press the seam down in the middle. But then I'm going to take the lining, and then now they are wrong side to wrong side, and I'm going to pin that. And then you can see I'm taking the finished pieces of them being attached together, and I'm just going to place the zipper. So you're going to take the zipper and like kind of face it down towards the fabric, and then just pin it so that when you flip it back, it's looking like that. So you got the teeth of the zipper on the outside when you're done. You get what I'm saying? And then now I have this, and you can top stitch it to make sure that everything stays nice and secure. And then I'm going to do the same with the other side, flipping it so that it's facing right side to right side kind of. And then now you have like a little muffle there. And then you're going to take and you're going to close it up. So I'm turning it inside out, and you kind of have like a seam on the outside of the zipper, so you don't have to worry about going over anything if you put it down the right way. And I'm just going to figure out where I want the zipper to be placed when everything is finished and done. It could be at the top, it could be in the middle, could be wherever you want. I wanted mine kind of in the middle, and then I'm just going to sew the sides closed. You're going to have to open up the zipper because you're going to want to be able to turn it the right way out when you're done. And if you close the zipper, you're not going to be able to do that once you're done. So once you sew up the sides, then you'll have this little piece here where you can see you can fit a few things in there. And then I wanted to customize it. This was before my Cricut, but if you have a Cricut, you can customize it and stuff with a Cricut, with an embroidery machine, whatever you want. I just use some stencils and some regular paint. You can use fabric paint and do whatever you want, but I just used some stencils and some regular paint, and I just took those off. I think I got these from the Dollar Tree, it might be. It's just a sticker stencil, so you can just take it off if you want and put it on something and then use it to do the stencils, which is the same thing you can do if you have a Cricut. You can make a stencil out of the vinyl and then take it, put it on, and do it like that, or you can do it directly, whatever you want to do. You don't even have to customize it. If you don't want, if you're using real cute fabric, you can leave it like that. It's all up to you, because it is your gift that you are giving. Now on to this one. This one, it is getting chilly. I don't know if the area you live, if it does get chilly, but it is chilly out here right now. So this is just a regular infinity scarf. Again, I'm working with scraps. So my measurements are not going to be exactly what I might use if I was doing it not with scraps. But you're going to want to be able to make sure that you can loop the scarf around twice. So that's going to be the main part, that you can loop the scarf around twice without it choking you. You want it to be loose, maybe not as loose as I did this one, because this one is more of a fashionable type thing than a functional type thing. But you just want to make sure it loops around twice without choking you up. So I'm doing 2 pieces exactly the same. So because it's going to be a 2-tone type thing, so I'm doing 2 pieces exactly the same color, and then I'm attaching those 2 pieces together. And then now I have one long piece of fabric, and then I'm taking it, folding it right side to right side, and sewing it down the long way, and then turning back the right way out, and then closing it up, attaching those together and closing it up. So once you have your real long tube-like piece, and you can do a thicker fabric, because if it is cold, you want a thicker fabric. And then I'm attaching them, but not in a way where it's kind of like it's still inside out, but they're not fed into each other at that point. And then you'll leave a little opening, just like if you were turning. I have the full video up, but it's just so that they attach in the inside, not the outside. And then you just have that one little piece to close up in the middle, and then you can see it there. Now on to this one. This one is another cute little purse that you can do. Again, I'm using scrap fabric. This is a kind of quilted like detail faux leather. I don't know what you would call it, but it's not quilted because it's not like no batting underneath it, but it has the little quilting stitches to it. So again, I'm just really measuring this out based on the zipper size, because it is a scrap and I'm just trying to work with what I do have. Once you figure out, how big you want it, whatever stuff, I wanted to have an asymmetrical type shape. So I'm just really freestyling this. So a lot of times you think you have to overwork things. You really, really don't. You can just kind of eyeball it. Once you get a gauge for sewing and doing different things, you'll be able to play around with stuff, and just by looking at it, figure out how to have things come out the way that you want them to come out. So I'm just, because it's a faux leather and it's kind of thick, I didn't do too much to this. You could add a cute little lining to it. You could do whatever. But I just attached the zippers like I did for the other one, face down, so that when it flips over, the zipper is the right way. And then you can see it. You flip it back the right way. Make sure everything is closing up nice. You could put a top stitch on there to make sure everything stays nice and secure, and the zipper doesn't, jam up or anything like that. And then you're going to want to close off the sides the same way you did with the other one, leaving it open so that you can turn it out the right way with once you close it up, because if the zipper is not open, you're not going to be able to turn it out the right way. So you want to make sure you do that. And then really you're kind of done, because it's, like I said, asymmetrical. You could also add a little snap closure, a button closure to it if you wanted to make sure that it stays down, nice and flat. But that's it. Nothing with the red zipper. It gives it a cute little pop. And if you added the little snap, you would have the snap there. But you can fit a lot of things in this purse. Like I said, you could add a lining, just like I did with the other one. And it's real simple and cute. I hope you enjoyed today's DIYs. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you in the next one.